Good afternoon. Well, I am an hour late, so I may just be talking to myself today because everybody's gone on to do other things. So it's been one of those days. Did you ever just have one of those days where the only thing it would do is chocolate? Today's the day. And uh, put my phone up before I lose my power on my phone. Today it is 75 degrees and partly sunny. We are expecting rain. We got an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. So I had things I needed to do today, and unfortunately it just didn't work. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself for a little bit and see if I can get someone to come in and say hello. Now, no, that's what I want to do. So what's everybody up to? I'm going to turn it down so I don't hear myself talk. Y'all don't forget those thumbs up if you haven't done it. It really helps my channel. So, what have we done today? What is your weather like? What are you working on? Gardens? I know there's been some terrible thunderstorms and tornadoes all across the United States. And I am sympathetic with all of that. Let me see. Maybe I need to share this with someone. I'll share it with Facebook. You just never know. Oh my goodness. Facebook is messed up too. So I guess I'm not going to share it with anybody. You know, it really should be a crime to be so computer illiterate or computer challenged, whatever word you want to use. So, yeah, that's been my day today. Hey, Maritza, Yarn and Crafts. Hola. How are you? You know, unfortunately, I had 4 years of Spanish, and I honestly don't remember much of anything. I think it has to do with if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, yes. This is your new channel? Very nice. I will definitely go make me a note. I will definitely go over and take a look. I'll subscribe to both of my channels. I still have Little Wendy's Daydreaming, which is where my yarn and crafts and stuff are at. But I will definitely, let's see if I can spell your name right. RITZ. What was the name of your channel before, or was it just your name? Yes. I'm gonna make myself a note. Thanks. You need to use Spanish or you will lose it. Yes. My Spanish teacher would not be happy. I grew up as a teenager in California, and the only foreign language we could take was Spanish, I think German and French. And we had a lot of Spanish speaking friends and neighbors and students. So I thought that was the most logical. So, I can count to 10. I can ask you how you are. I can tell you that I don't speak Spanish, but ours was called conversational Spanish, and I don't know what it's called now, but it's probably different. We're talking, oh my gosh, in the mid 70s. So yes, um, yeah, unfortunately, I lost it. Now, we did go to Spain with my daughters. Um, it was her, I guess it was her last year in high school back in 95, I think. We went to Spain, but they definitely speak a different language there. The dialects are really different. So, thank goodness we had teachers and um I guess we had guides. We had 3 guides, 3 policemen to take us through. We had, interpreter, several of the teachers spoke Spanish, and of course, the kids were supposed to speak Spanish, but you know how that goes. Um, they were probably just speaking as much as they could get away with so they could pass the class. That's just how kids go. But yeah. So now, do you live in the mid states, or do you live in an area that is predominantly Spanish? Hello, Gummy Doolittle. Yes, I you just wouldn't believe what my computer wanted to do. I mean, I tried to boot it up at 11 o'clock and get ready for my live, and then it just all went crazy from there. Um, Maritza says my wish list is to go to Spain as I think it would be able to handle the difference. Yeah, you probably, if you're fluent in Spanish, you would be able to, um, figure out the difference. And I'm sure it's not a lot, but it was enough because I mean, we're talking 20 years since I had Spanish. Pennsylvania area. Okay, the variety of nationalities. Very good. We live in East Central Georgia, and very close to Fort Gordon. And Fort Gordon has, many people from all over the country and different nationalities and dialects. And um, so, I mean, I've met a lot of Spanish speaking people here. But most of them are, I mean, some of them are actually from overseas. So, yes, so quite a variety. But I really loved Spain. And my favorite city was not Madrid. Oh, my air conditioning came on. We flew into Madrid. Hey, Ricochet Project off grid. How are you today? I know this is not my regular day. I am just until I get all these cattle done. I will have a short video for y'all who want to see our little fiasco with the cattle yesterday. They are really giving us a hard time. We did end up taking our mama cow and the 7-month-old little heifer because they were willing to get in the trailer. The bulls were not willing, and they almost tore up my fences. So yeah, it was a rough day yesterday, and then it just got worse today. Wickersham Project, we're very good. Very, very rainy. Oh, you are today. Ours is 80% tomorrow. We are at 75, so it's a really humid day. Um, I had a whole list of things I needed to do. So you know how that list goes. It's not always, the way you want to do it. But now, Worcestershire, what area of the country are you in? Remind me. Um, Unfortunately, I cannot remember everybody's locale. Uh, I look at the list and it grows. Yeah, sometimes it grows. Uh, oh, Central Tennessee, 7A. Okay, very good. Yes, and we're 8A. Um, so we're just kind of south of you. Um, but we're more. I mean, I'm an hour from the South Carolina border, so I'm pretty close to South Carolina. But so yeah, the list is, it's growing. Let's see, Maritza. Let me tell you my favorite city in Spain before we get off of Spain was a little town called Sevilla or Seville. We were calling it Seville because we're from the south, but Sevilla and Granada, those those were kind of south of Madrid, but we were on our way to the coast. Those small towns were really my favorite. Madrid actually kind of scared us because there was so many people there, and one or two of us got our bags pickpocketed. I was not one of them. The principal was one of them, and one of the students. Uh, but unfortunately, we did. I mean, fortunately, we didn't lose a lot. But yes, Spain was quite an adventure for us. We had 15 students and 15 adults spread all over the country. We had someone from New York and California, two or three places in California, Nevada, and besides the teachers here. So it was open to family and friends, and the wonderful thing is that my brother and his wife were able to meet us in Atlanta, and we all got to go over there together. And they were from California, and so it really was an amazing trip. And we went. One of our favorite places um, was not the Casbah. That that was uh, that was interesting. That was in. We went to another little town that scared me. Um, but we went to a little factory that made knives and swords, and they fashioned them there, right? You could actually watch them do it. And that was really fascinating. So yeah, definitely, uh, you know, and I probably won't ever go again because I basically quit traveling when you have animals on your farm. Worcestershire said picked up one peach tree, one red delicious apple, not a self pollinator. Um, I do have apple seeds stratifying in the fridge to grow some crab apples to help with cross pollination next year. Yeah, we have only one peach tree, but we have some cross pollinators in the plums and the pears. So we have a few, and we got some wild plums. So, but I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, it was really cold, and we finally, our last cold snap is supposed to be in a couple of days. But it's already, well, it's 79. It's already been in the 80s. And I think tomorrow we're actually going to get cooler because we have an 80% chance of rain. Probably the storms that are over in the Midwest now will be here tomorrow. So I don't think we're supposed to be expecting anything as severe as Missouri and Arkansas and Mississippi have had recently. Did you direct plant into native soil or have to amend for your trees to grow in? Actually, what I did, Ricashar, is we dug in our native soil. We dug the hole just humongous. And then we amended the soil along with the original soil that was wrapped around the ball. And I think the trees were like 3 years old, so they weren't baby babies, but they were small enough. They were about 5 foot, 5, 6 foot tall. And we didn't lose any of the plums, We did lose one of the pears, um, and the apple hasn't started blooming yet, but it is leafing out. So some of them are a little slower than others. Hey, Cindy from Lulu Treasure. I'm doing good. It is good to see you too. You're multitasking too, but popped up for a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I love it. Yes, this is not my regular day, so I may be stepping on someone's toes. Um, I have been trying to get back to Wednesday, but we're still trying to get the last two cows to our market, and we can only take them on Wednesdays, which is my live day at noon. So yeah, I have kind of been flopping around, and I'll probably miss someone, I'm sure, that normally would have seen me. Um, so yeah, uh, let's see. You have a Ricochet. You have a 3 foot air pruned, really? Um, I've never done that. I've never done that. Hey, Big Valley, Michelle, how are you doing? Oh, I am so excited that it's your first time. I've been on yours many times, and sometimes it's one of those things that there's so many people on at the same time that you're just having to hop all over the place in order to say hello. Worst day to go live is all day Saturday. Is it really? Well, Saturday is the weekends are bad for me because that's the only time my husband's off, and we're really right knee deep in our remodeling. The farmhouse. We're about to put flooring down in 3 rooms, so we're working hard on that. But I have a very short video. It's like a minute, but it's in a regular video. Well, no, it might be a short. Um, on our little fiasco with the cows. Oh my gosh, we have been trying for 6 weeks to get all of these cows to market. Some people, it may come easy to them, but we weren't really set up for a shoot. We did get them in an area that we thought was going to work, and it actually did for the mom and the baby. So that's the only two we ended up taking to market. And I won't find out for a couple of days, what the price was per pound. But the last ones were $1 a pound. So we didn't do too bad. Wickershire says, yeah, the apple is air pruned. Roots are bushy. Oh, but the peach looks graft at the tap root is straight. Really? Now, did you do that yourself or did you buy it that way? That's pretty cool. So yes, I have been trying. I really don't get on as much as I really would like to, but when you have a working farm, y'all who know how you have a working farm, you bought them from Tractor Supply. Okay, I hadn't been up there in a long time. My husband goes if he needs something, but um, yeah, it's the feed store, the feed store days for me. And they do have trees. I got all of my pear trees. I got my plum trees from the feed store, and I got a pineapple pear last year. So I'm not. I don't think that's the one I lost. I lost a kefir pear, I think. So I'm kind of excited for the pears this year. We did plant some cranberry bushes, but I don't believe they made it. They were just not large enough. They were bare root, and um, by the time they came, it was really too late to be planting them. So we really didn't do well with them. I was really hoping because I've never had a cranberry bush. I always thought cranberries were in bogs. So this was kind of new for me, but and I'll try it again. But right now, um, I just need to get. I've got so much to do with the garden because I really got to start throwing stuff in the garden and getting it going because I mean it's going to be, even though this is still spring. I mean when you're 80, it doesn't take long in Georgia to get up to 100, and yeah, it's really hard. Michelle says Is air pruning the same as air layering? I saw Lead Farmer 73 air laying pomegranate tree a couple of years ago. Yes, I saw Kathy at Living Miracle. She was doing some air pruning. I forget what tree she was doing, but she's done some, and I've seen some from Glenn at How to Grow. He's done some air pruning. So yeah, it's not something that I'm set up to do or have any knowledge to do right now. I've just got too many irons in the fire. You know how that is? It's like that list. It just keeps growing. Wickershire says pure yellow clay. That's what you have? I have a centimeter of natural leaf topsoil. Only a centimeter? Oh my gosh. I think we're growing rocks, as that's all I find as I pick it X into the soil. Yeah, ours is not rocks, ours is clay. So, hey, Miss Annabeth. Oh no, you weren't late, Annabeth. I was late. Your keyboard wouldn't work. Okay, well, see, I had issues. I'll tell you how my morning went, y'all. I thought I was gonna do good. I have it all set up. I got some things I need to do because Monday is my daughter's total knee replacement, and I'm going to be working. I'm going to be at her house taking care of her um, in between our other things. And so I had just had this list. I need to get this list done, and I got my painting done in my bathrooms that we're going to put the flooring up hopefully Sunday afternoon. And so I got all of that done, and I went and I wanted to work in the bees yesterday, day before yesterday. And I had my schedule. I go up there, somebody, and I don't want to say somebody stole it, but it's missing. On my front porch was one of my beehives with 8 frames and my queen excluder all on my front porch, and it was with an older one that had been abandoned. I'm trying to clean it up, and I go out there and it's gone. And I mean, I've looked in every barn thinking, well, wait, maybe, my husband picked it up or the kids picked it up or and moved it to the barn. I've looked everywhere. It is totally gone. They left the one that needed to be cleaned up and they took the brand new one. I won that as a prize at Christmas time. So that's only half of they only took those 2 pieces of it. I still have the deep box and I have all the equipment and everything that came with it. But so now I'm going to have to go buy a medium super so that I can expand my bees now. So I just don't know why anybody would steal something like that. Um, it's pretty sad, but we're pretty close to the road, but I have never had anybody take anything out of my yard at all. Let's see, what did I miss in the chat, guys? Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yes, she has had this knee. She heard it when she was 15 years old. She's early 40s now. 15 years old in cheerleading. So honestly, cheerleaders got hurt more that year than the football players got hurt. So she's had 2 surgeries on this knee before. She has screws, which they are going to remove some, and they are going to be able to use the same scar that was already there. So, and he said that he could actually take the scar out and clean it up. So it's a pretty good sized scar because they've already done surgery twice in that scar. So, so yeah, she's pretty young for a total knee replacement. What is it? 43, 40? Ugh, I'm forgetting now. Um, Yes, I hate somebody stole it too, Annabeth. I didn't even know it was missing until I went and I knew what I needed to do. I needed to add it to, I'm trying to do walk away splits, and it just kind of messed up my day. It just kind of, if they needed it that bad, if somebody asked me for something, I would give it to them. But, just to take something that you really depending on, now I have to drive to the next town and repurchase those items. Actually, I didn't purchase them. I won them. They were free. And I mean, it was a gift that I won through my bee club. Um, let's see. What else did I miss? Gummy says our area is sand and bad soil because we live in the valley farmlands. Peaches, grapes, almonds, pistachios, carrots. Yes, they live in the San Joaquin Valley. There's lots of growing up there, and oranges. There's you didn't did you say oranges too? They have oranges there too. So yes, so couldn't work with my bees, and I thought, okay, then I'm going to cut the grass this morning. And we're talking about 6 acres. Probably half of that is pasture, but the outline areas around the roads. Hey, Carlene Vassar, nice to see you. Um, they have wild onions in them right now, and I love the smell of wild onions. But so yeah, so I was going to cut the grass. I got gas yesterday. I go over there and darn it, if the battery's not dead. So now I've got to get somebody to jump me off and get that done. So it's still sitting in my daughter's yard, but it is gassed up and it's ready to go. So I'm that far, and I need to cut her grass too because she's not going to be able to with her knee replacement, and her son's is not going to be here until next weekend. So she needs her grass cut too. I had all that going. And then I log on at 11 o'clock and I want to talk to you guys in my regular noon hour. And darn it, if my computer didn't start updating, and the next thing I know, it was syncing to another email address I have, and I was locked out. I had to actually, after about 45 minutes, I had to actually carry my computer, and my phone was locked out too. I couldn't even do the live on the phone because it combined my email addresses, and oh my gosh. So I had to take it down to my son, and he saved me. So that's what I say. It really should be a crime to be so computer illiterate. Ugh, I'm hopeless, but I'm there. I'm not going to learn what they know. I'm definitely not going to do that. Gummy says they have a lot of citrus trees on the coast. Oh, the coast has the strawberries. Oh, I love California strawberries. Um, Big Valley, you're in Sacramento Valley. Clay there. Gardening. Oh, yeah, the gardening should be really nice. Um, but you have a little cooler weather than Bakersfield. So, I'm sure it gets hot up there too. Um, Annabeth says we just got Meyer lemon tree and an olive tree. Oh, I had a Meyer lemon and it didn't make it a couple of years ago, and I have not found another one yet. I wanted to get one that was 2 or 3 years old to kind of give it a good, and I may have to keep it in a pot because we have so much clay. So I guess we're all dealing with clay issues or rock issues or something. Um, Wickershire says very simple process on a straight limb of any tree. Oh, your air layering, yes. Oh, good. It'll fruit sooner. That's even better because you kind of cut that off a little bit. Carlene, you're in Florida. Oh yeah, I know you got lots of sand. Ooh, I don't. And you probably can grow more tropical fruits, which even us in mid Georgia cannot. Um, there's some things that it's still too cold here during the year. And I mean, my fig trees, I have 4 fig trees, and they were blooming out. They were doing really good. And then we had another freeze, and we lost all of it. So they will start budding out again. Because it just wilted them. It wasn't enough. It got like 29, but it was enough that it messed up what was already there. So we're just struggling with that. Annabeth says my Femora app updated a few days ago. So annoying because I have to find out where everything is. Yes, they change it all the time. And see, I had an update on my phone, and it's an automatic update. So you go in and it's like, oh my gosh, now I can't get in. And when you're already computer challenged, it's a little bit distressing, Carlene says I have a grapefruit tree and a loquat tree. I have never tried loquat. I've heard of it, but I've never tried that. Is anyone able to grow pineapple? uh then figs. Yes, figs. I love figs. um and there's only two or three that are ripe at the same time on a smaller tree, and I will just take them and I'll um, freeze them until I get a couple of gallons of them. Then I make some jam or some jelly. Hello, Elise. How are you? I'm doing good now. Now that I got it all straightened out. So, so yeah. So my day didn't start out. It's like, okay, I didn't get the grass cut. We have an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. Um, and the next day maybe 30%, and maybe a little on Saturday. So I really thought I really need to get that grass cut. And so yeah, now I got to get the lawnmower jumped off. When I moved to the farm, I really thought the goats would eat all the grass, but the grass I'm cutting is near the road and they can't get near the road. So, I still have to cut grass. YouTube does too, Annabeth says, I wonder why everyone is in the chat title is different colors. Mine is pink. I guess since I'm a mod on there, you can't see it. One other live stream you can though. Really? Um, I don't know. I don't know why all the different colors. Now, Wickershire Project is orange for me, and Big Valley Living is pink for me. Carlene Vassar is red for me. Hey, Byron from 12 Stones. I'm doing as well as we can all be. Weather's good, and I'm just going to let all those problems just wash off my shoulders today. I said earlier, I said, you know, when you have a day that's just not going the way you want to, and you think I need coffee, well, I need chocolate. I'm past the coffee. I need chocolate. I don't have any, but well, no, I take that back. Somebody sent me some, and I haven't done the video yet, so I won't break into it. So yes, I do. I do have a mail call that has some really nice things in it, and so yeah, I need to do that also. But when the computer messed up, I just couldn't get into my channel, and that really frustrated me because I have two channels plus I have a personal channel that I may watch other videos if or look up things. Hey, Nancy from Our Treasured Home, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I know I just saw you on Kathy's live last night. um Annabeth, I don't know why your color is different. We have a we don't have the Club Cadet lawnmower. We have, I think, the one that Tractor Supply does, and I can't remember the name of it. It's red and black. I think it came from Tractor Supply. Um, you're doing good, Nancy. Very nice. Oh, thank you so much with the playlist. It's crazy about that playlist because I hadn't really been watching my numbers, and some of y'all know that I really don't, watch them every day. And I, somebody said something to me about views and wanted to know how many views I had, and I looked them up, and I had almost 65,000 views. And then I go and look at my my subs are like 783. They were 788. So you know how it goes back and forth to three. And that didn't bother me so bad. And then looked up my watch hours. I had almost 2200 watch hours. Um which is, halfway. And I looked, and it was almost 1200. They took that many watch hours away from me, almost 1,000 watch hours since December. So I was really kind of, discouraged about that. But I mean, it'll get there eventually. But you know, I'm getting there. But I was just, 1,000 watch hours is a lot. And I know once you pass that 1 year anniversary, every day you lose a few. But 1,000, it's like, I know, it's like shock. So I guess I should have been paying attention a little more, but And I have picked up a lot, and I've picked up a lot of views this year. I thought 65,000 views was really good. Hey, Wendy Acres Farm, nice to see you again. So yeah, the watch hours kind of put me in a funk. It's like, oh my gosh, 1,000 watch hours. That's a lot of time to make up. So I have until December the 9th. That is my next anniversary. So this year I'm going to have to really, um, I guess I need to do longer lives, you know. So, but I'm getting decent hours on my videos. My shorts are doing, you know, good views on my shorts. And, you know, so and I'm uploading regularly. So it'll get there. I guess I need to put myself out there more. But during the summer, you know, I have a working farm, and I know a lot of you do have a working farm and you have animals and things to do. You're not just in the house on the computer all the time, and I understand that. It was nice to see you, Carlene. He's mowing the yard, needs a cool drink. Boy, I can believe that because it's 80 now here. I'm glad you stopped by though. And hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday, my regular time at noon. Um, Next week we have 3 more weeks before we can take 2 more cattle to the auction. So that Wednesday will be messed up for me. My husband can only take one Wednesday off a month, so we have to schedule it. And when the cows don't cooperate, then it just kind of messes up everything. Wickershire says we joked yesterday about mowing a field of mint. You're sweaty, sticky, and dirty, but oh boy, you smell great, honey. Yes, I mean it's like the onions. Why am I crazy? But I love the smell of wild onions when you cut them. I do. But you know, I grew up on onions. I like raw onions too. But yeah, it does. It really does. Nancy, it gets so busy in the summer. We all need to be doing gardens if those are able to do gardens. I'm going to do a lot of container gardens this year because with the clay issues I had last year, I'm not going to put myself through that. So yeah, I'm going to do more of that. Hello, Prep for Eternity Homestead. Nice to see you too. Um so yeah, and Carlene, don't get too hot down there. Not too hot. We are on spring break. Our spring break is a different time than most in the country because we have the Masters golf tournament in our area. So all of the schools actually take spring break during that time. And many of them who want to go out of town just because they don't want all the extra traffic. And those who like to go to the Masters love it because they've got a week off. So yeah, so we are actually on spring break this week. So no kids to pick up from schools, and so you know we're in. I forget how many counties are in our area. The Central Savannah River County. So we all take break at the same time. I think college was like last week. Maybe y'all's summer schedule was even a couple of weeks ago, but ours is generally late, just before Easter is ours. Let's see. Gummy says, I'll be happy to watch your lives twice a week easily, even though Turtle takes up a lot of your time. I know when you have a handicapped child, it's a 24/7. You got to keep your eyes on him 24/7. You know, and when he's in bed, that's your spare time basically, or when he's at school. So yeah, I understand, you know, there's lots of things that we do that take us away from, you know, we all enjoy the YouTube or we wouldn't be doing it, right? We like making new friends and all that. Annabeth says school year near my grandmother they've already had their spring break and they're back in now. Yes, and I don't know how the homeschoolers do. They may be on a schedule for their area to take the same break also. Um, we have some homeschoolers next door to us and they're on break this year this week, which like I said is Masters week. I have honestly never been to the Masters golf tournament. My kids love it. They go and they walk and and they have brought they have brought little gifts. I have my favorite coffee mug, one of my favorite coffee mugs from the Masters, and one of my sons had a hat that had Tiger Woods' signature on it, among a whole bunch of others. At one time, he got it in high school when he got to work the Masters. So, it's just a big place up there, and lots of traffic, lots of people in town. And overall, they're really nice people. Um, they come from all over the country, but golf is just not my thing. Football is not my thing. I don't particularly like to go and watch games. Now, if I win, I would probably want, their peanuts or whatever, their fun stuff. Now in Georgia, we have boiled peanuts. Did I say that right? Boiled, boiled peanuts, and we're a really big competitor with Alabama. you know. But so yeah, if I went, I would say, what's on the menu? Because you know I don't know anything about sports. That's just not my thing. But I'll be in the room with them when they're watching it. But you couldn't tell what's going on by me. Wickershire says I love bag style containers for gardening. Plastic pots, if small, and root binding. Yeah, I used um I used some feed bags from my local feed store. They're double layered um paper. It's a real thick paper, and they work really well. You can roll them down. You can put potatoes in them. You can put anything in them. I've used straw bales also, but when I have cows, they just can't stand it, and they've torn up my garden more than once over straw bales. But so I can't use those near until I get rid of all those cows. So yeah, those feed bags work really well, and I even used old milk crates and lined them with paper feed bags, and the mesh feed bags, your toe sack bags, you can make your own with the garden fabric. You can actually make your own. So just because we have clay, I haven't, stopped gardening. It's just it does deter you from putting it in the ground. And I learned a long time ago not to till up the ground in the pasture because it has pigweed. The first year, oh my gosh, we had so much pigweed. I couldn't even pull that stuff up, and it's so sticky. It was awful. So that deterred me that year. That's why I went to straw bales the next year, and then the cows tore it up. But I had some beautiful green tomatoes that they after they tore my garden up. I had some that were softball size, beefsteak tomatoes. They were really good, and I did can them green. I didn't let them waste. I mean, as bad as it made me, I didn't give up on it. Guessing a feedback, 20 liters, so you have a 10-liter, half the bag to grow in. Yes. Carrots and potatoes. Oh, I love the gold potatoes. Um, they grow better for me, and the red ones grow better for me than the russets. I don't plant the russets here. You can buy a russet, but it's just, it's got a green skim on it. I don't really like that green color, so I would rather grow my own little new potatoes or something. Annabeth says, me and my siblings are homeschooled. Yes, I thought that's what you said, Annabeth. We get summer break around the 5th of May. Can't wait. Yeah. Now that's early. That's an early break because we always in regular school had to go to the end of May. Um, can't wait. Most of this summer is going to be swimming and gardening. Yeah, that's a good thing. And I really want to go fishing. My pond is calling me, y'all. Hey, Corner Cobalt, how are you? Nice to see you. Annabeth says we also have hogweed around our here in our pastures. Is the hogweed the same as I'm calling pigweed? It's nasty. It's got thorns, big old thorns. If no one has ever got a hold of pigweed, it's awful. Hey, Ginger, it not for nothing. Gosh, I hadn't seen you in so long. How are you? I got off to go cut my grass, and that all went to a handbasket. So I didn't get that done. But we're going to get some rain tomorrow, and tractor's out of the mud. So if y'all didn't see my little video about the tractor, we did have one line we need to replace that has hydraulic fluid to the back, to my scraper. So we will have to replace that. It must have gotten hung on some roots or something, so it had a hole in it. So we'll have to replace that. But the tractor is out of the mud, definitely out of the mud. Annabeth says they go back to school around September. Well, you get a really nice summer. Um, really nice summer. Uh, some of our school around here don't start back until the first part of August. So it's changed a little bit, just a little bit. Um, so yeah, Annabeth caught a 2-pound bass yesterday. Really? I saw your dad fishing in that big old pond. Y'all got a nice pond. I'm really kind of jealous of that. My pond is maybe a third that size for sure. Ginger said I went to mow when Blue and I ended our craft chat this morning. So we're thinking along the same line. Yeah, unfortunately mine, I got it gassed up and it's dead, so I'm going to have to get it jumped off to get it back to the farm. It's over at my daughter's house. So I will get it done. I mean, I can cut grass in like misty rain. We have sporadic. Y'all know what those are? The what do you call them? Scattered thunderstorms. That's usually what we get. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. But we got an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. So I guess I may not get the grass cut until Saturday. So yeah. So the 2 cows that we got in the trailer yesterday, we really hadn't intended on taking the heifer and her baby. She's 7 months old, but they were the only 2 willing to go in. The 2 bulls, we have 1 steer and 1 bull, and oh my gosh, they did not want to go in. They did finally go in because she was in there, and they went in and they backed up. And you'll see on my little short video, they almost tore my fence up backing up. Um, so I don't have a straight chute to push them in, but this is the best we could find. And it did work. If the other 2 cows wasn't in front, we could have got them in and had plenty of room. But they were trying to turn around in that stock trailer, and this is a big old bull. So yeah, we got 2 more. Oh, I'm so over cows, y'all. I don't have enough land for cows. Nothing wrong with growing your own beef, but you've got to have the space and the fencing in order to contain them. Once they start getting out, you might as well give them a different address because they're going to continue to get out. Let's see. Ginger says my weeds were coming up, so I knew that rain would just make them shoot straight up, so I had to get them cut out today. Yes, I'm glad you did. I was really looking forward to cutting those wild onions. I pulled up some of them before. I haven't dehydrated them yet because my dehydrator is put away. But I will dehydrate them. They're all over, and they're not in an area where there's animals, so I don't pick up anything out of the pastures because the animals are there. Hey, Teresa from Stringfield Ridge. It's nice to see you. I know you're eating lunch. You have a long day job every day. I have a day job, but it just doesn't pay anything. So there's a lot of us like that, right? We don't really get paid. I'm retired and I work pretty hard even at retired. Wickershire says no one grows tobacco here. It's mostly corn, soy, cotton, and I've seen a few stink bugs. Oh yeah, we got stink bugs. When we lived up in Southern Virginia on a 30-acre co-op, we had an endless supply of ladybugs and stink bugs. Really? Now, when I always put my squash out and my zucchini, those stink bugs, they just go after it. Now I do have some peanuts this year. I was lucky enough last season to buy 2 1-pound bags of peanuts. I bought one for Kathy at Living Miracle. She wanted some extra peanuts, so I managed to get her one. They're red Spanish peanuts. So I am going to put my peanuts in this year. She's already put hers in because her growing season's longer than mine. Oh, I saw somebody new here. Akash the Rapper. Did I say that right? It's nice to see you. Glad you came in. I appreciate that. So y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up, please. I gotta remind myself to remind everyone. If I'm gonna watch my watch hours to the end of the year, and if I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna have to be vigilant about, you know, making sure that I can get those other 3,000 hours. Since I took one step forward and lost 1,000, it's like, uh, I'll get there. I'm not gonna let it get me down though, because there's a lot of nice YouTube people that we all help each other, and that's how we get there. Is we get that little extra boost, especially at the end. So I hope everything is good in Tennessee, Teresa. It's nice to see you too. It is. Annabeth says everyone here grows cotton and peaches. We live in a peach county. Is what they call it. You know what? Georgia is supposed to be a peach state, but um, it's really known for pecans or pecans for those who are, you know, say it differently. Peanuts. It's a big area for peanuts, and of course Vidalia onions. That's a big thing in Georgia. But about an hour across the river in South Carolina, they have some of the best peaches you ever tasted. I would rather have South Carolina peaches than I would Georgia peaches. Um, it's just, I mean, we will drive over there to get a bushel of peaches to put them up. They're so good. They're the kind that just run down your arm. They're so juicy, and I mean that's a good peach. Very good. Akash the Rapper. Now, you are the second person that I know by the name of Linda. Really? It's a very popular name back in the 50s. And my husband and I both got popular names in the 50s. Um, but not many people name their children Linda anymore. You know, although some of those vintage names are coming back. And I think they're beautiful. So yes, did you know in Spanish, I believe Linda means beautiful or pretty? I think that's what it means. I think I learned that when I was in Spanish class. um, Michelle said, I'll stream your channel while doing housework. It's like visiting with a friend. Thank you so much. My sister does that too. And occasionally she runs hers on the TV. And her husband will come in. It's like, you kind of take it back a minute. It's like, Linda's here? No, I'm 2,000 miles away. Um, but yeah, it is kind of, and what I do is I have two computers and I have a tablet that is very slow. So if I have someone who's really close, I just ran Danny Days. She was very close. I think she's gone over now. But I was running hers, and I will set it up to run the playlist. And then later I'll go back, if I haven't already, I'll go back and do the thumbs up and make some comments on a couple of the clips so that I've already seen them once and it's been a while. So I just go back and run it again for her. But yeah, so I mean, we have to help each other. I mean, that's the only way to do it, right? It's just to help each other because we don't have 100,000 subscribers. Let's see, who did I miss? Oh, Niecy's here. Hi, Niecy. It's so nice to see you. Annabeth says my sister-in-law is going to have the baby today. Oh, she didn't have it yesterday? Probably 3 or 4 this afternoon. If no complications, prayers for the baby will be appreciated. And if I'm not right, is that a little baby girl, Emery? Is that what they were going to name her? That's a beautiful name. Jane, Emery Jane. Isn't that pretty? That's a gorgeous name. Let's see, I missed something in chat here. Somebody, Wickershire, you said 4th year with 100% solar power. Oh, you do? It's 100% paid back in power production. This year we will be producing 1,800 to $2,200 of free electricity per year. Very good. That's an excellent goal to meet every year. Very good. Oh, you watch on TV too, Michelle? Yes. I don't watch on TV. I have my computer. We don't have cable in the farmhouse because we're in the remodeling, so I don't even have cable. Um, Akash, you retracted your statement, so I don't know what you did. You put it back up? Um, did you have something misspelled? Um, I missed it. Hey, Gail, Southern Living. Oh, it's nice to see you. I was cruising your channel last night, but it was very late. I just could not get to sleep. Yes, Annabeth says her new little niece is going to be a girl. Um, your parents got the right name for you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'm just normal, guys. I very little makeup. I'm just, just normal. Uh, I do talk a lot, but I am quite shy. I don't know how. You should have seen the nerves I had when I first started uh, live chats. Oh my gosh, I just, and I see everybody doing live chats, and it's just they're so easy at it, and I definitely, it, I got the nerves. Hey, Christy Betts, nice, it's nice to see you. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Uh, Oh, you're driving into town, Nisi? Yes, a lot of times I do listen driving into town too. When I go to town, because that's the best time to, get some videos under your belt. Um, I don't even turn the radio on. I honestly don't know how long it's been since I had my radio on in the car. I just don't. And it's not a very good radio, so that probably is why I don't even think about it anymore. So yeah, let's see, who else did I miss? Um, trying to see. I'm glad you guys all know each other. Hey, Donnie, did I miss you up there somewhere? It's good to see you. Storyteller Donnie. Oh, yes. Yeah, we can't wait. If they ever let you show her picture, that would be nice. But some people are, they're a little apprehensive about showing pictures of their children. And so we understand that if you can't, but if you ever get to, we would love to see it. Love to see it. Um, yeah. Oh, Gail has 2 gardening collabs. Yes, that was something I did notice, and I wanted to mention that. Right offhand, I don't remember the name. Uh, I can fix you, Gail, and you can put them up there for me. Uh, and go ahead and drop those links for those two because they're with spring, and it's really good collabs. Y'all would like those if you're doing a garden, even if you're not. Wickersham product also wears very little makeup. Who is it that I missed? Who else is it that um honestly, if I got really close to the screen, y'all could see all my freckles. I have a lot of freckles. Yeah. But so I have a little bit on, but not enough to cover the freckles up. Angel kisses, is that what they used to call them? Angel kisses. Yeah, I don't wear makeup well at all. I've just never really. Besides that, it makes you hot and sweaty, and when you're outside, it's just not fun at all. Christy says I was out changing the propane tank, having trouble getting a little buddy to stay lit. Really, um, you must be getting some cooler weather. We are getting some cooler weather tomorrow, but I mean, it's still going to be in the 60s, so it's not going to be bad because we're 80 right now. 80 and humid. Oh, the sun's come up, and we're supposed to have scattered thunderstorms later. Wickershaw Project says dirt count. Yeah, dirt counts. You know, it when we were kids, if we didn't come in with dirt on us, then we didn't play hard enough. We didn't. But yeah. Did I fix you, Gail? I thought I gave you a wrench. I meant, uh, I guess I did. It just, I don't see it yet. Give it a minute. But yes, um, I like the collabs. Now I am going to do one of the collabs in for salad, and I think salad is May. Thank goodness the air conditioner went off. It was so noisy. I'm in the camper, so it's a little bit loud. So there is a salad one in May, and like I said, I don't really have a kitchen to work with, so I'll have to do that one in one of my kids' kitchen. But I do want to try to keep doing them. I love the collabs, and it's a nice way to get some new recipes um, when I can cook. And I got a new Ginger from Not for Nothing sent me a new chili cookbook, so I'm anxious to try one of those chili recipes. So I think that will be good. Let's see. Yes. Oh, there you go. Now you got your wrench, Gail. I don't mind you dropping. I do not mind you dropping channels at all. We're here to share and get to know each other. I'm sure most of you probably know each other. There's a couple of new people I have here. Um, have you ever tried Indian foods? Akash says. Actually, I have. And I would love to try something with curry again because the one time uh, I did have it. I don't know if it was too strong or what, but it's one of those things. It's like, well, maybe if I tried it again in a different dish, that I would like it. I like the smell of it, but and I actually worked with an Indian lady, and she brought some wonderful smelling dishes. Of course, I didn't eat any of her food. Uh, Gail says, I want to try making chicken curry. Yes, that was not what I had, and I'm not sure what she gave me, but it was just something that they wanted me to try. And if you're not used to a lot of spices, I grew up on salt and pepper. You know, that's that was about all we got, and everything else was raw onions, raw garlic, stuff like that. So it is a new thing for me, but I would love to try a curry dish that is mild. I would really like, and maybe I would like rice, something with rice in it. So yeah, so one day um I'll be watching Gail when she tries her chicken curry to see what she's going to do. Gail Southern Living. So y'all that don't know Gail, she has her second channel, Coupons, Crafts, and More. What is it called, Gail? I know you changed the name. That threw me a little bit. I know it's changed. Annabeth says, my mom won a chili cook-off at my dad's work a few months ago. Second place. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Um, Now my brother made a chili. It was called cowboy chili, and I was in California one time, and he made it, and oh my gosh, that was. I mean, it had beans in it, but I like chili without beans too. But it was a good because it had bacon in it. Anything with bacon is right up my alley. I love that. It sounds good. Uh, Gail's Crafts and More, crafts and coupons. Okay, see, I knew there was change, Gail, and I just want to get that right. I don't want to misinform anyone. Hello, Miss Southern Belle. Nice to see you. Well, you know what? I had a rough start today, but I'm not going to let it get me down. It's just a day, and tomorrow will be another day. And, so what? I didn't get to cut the grass. I didn't get to work out in the 80-degree heat. So I'm not going to get upset about it. Now, I did get some new ducks this morning that I didn't know they were coming until yesterday, because the last batch of ducks that my husband got, um, they didn't do real well. We lost more than half of them before they even got to us. It was too cold, I think, and they didn't. And these guys look a little weepy, probably from the heat. So now I'm uh I did lose one, so there was 20 of these little Pekin ducks, and so one of them was not with us when it arrived. So I'm trying to rehydrate them, and um I got them in the little incubator, but it's not on real hot because ducks don't need it. I put a little dish of water in there, and oh my gosh, you should see 19 little ducks just all over the place trying to swim, and so hopefully they'll rehydrate pretty quickly. And they were drinking that water fast too. Let's see, what do we got? Christy says I had a filter on it, but not a regulator. Oh, you did. Wow. Annabeth says one of our ducks died yesterday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think it got a hold of a poisonous plant somewhere on the farm. And you know what? Snakes are out. They can get snake bit too. Because even though, I mean, it's already above, usually you start seeing them when they get above 70 degrees. So yeah, I haven't seen one yet, but yes, they are out. Um, so Wickershire, do you think I need a new line or a new regulator? Christy's asking Wickershire. Miss Southern Belle says, I hear you. Enjoy and stay cool with a wet towel. Freeze it, wrap it around your neck. Yes, I have one of those. It's like a sheepskin thing, and you can re-wet it, and then you pop it, and it gets cooler. And it really, I forget what they call them, but I do wear that around my neck when I'm cutting. And yes, I do garden, Gail. I do. I was just talking about working in my garden. My tractor's been stuck in the woods for several weeks, so we got it out, and now I can start working with my tractor. I will have to do um, container gardening again this year with most of it. My blackberries are blooming. My bees are loving that, and my elderberry is doing really well. Raspberry hasn't started yet. All of my fruit trees are blooming. So yeah, I'll be glad to do a little update on my garden soon, so y'all can see all that's going on in it. And I did Gail's weird container gardening last year. Are you doing that one this year? Is that one of the new ones? Um, that was an interesting collaboration. The weird container gardening. It's amazing what you can garden in. Honestly, it is. Um, Christy says, I think dog hair doesn't agree with the heater, especially Pyrenees hair. Oh my gosh, yes. You can comb those Pyrenees, and I've seen out. One of my dogs has a lot of undercoat, and in the pen where he's at, I mean, there's just like white cotton everywhere. So he's getting it out himself. But if I go out there and comb him, he wants to get in my lap. He's 100 pounds, but he wants to be up in my lap when I'm combing him. It's a little hard to do. So yes, our Pyrenees are losing. They do live outside, and they sleep with the goats, and they stay over there with the goats and the lambs and the cows, the alpacas. Nothing bothers them. It doesn't, unless they want to get out and want to go swimming. They do like to go to the pond and go swimming. I can't blame them there. I want to go fishing, but I don't want to go swimming. Um, Annabeth says, I think I saw a snake this morning. It scurried so fast in the bush that I couldn't see it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you just got, especially if you're at the pond, you got to be careful about those water moccasins. Let's see. Wickershire says, oh, Christy, propane tank regulator hose filter, pilot hole cleaned. That's the setup. Try cleaning the pilot hole first and blowing it out. Yeah, that's a good idea. Gail's collabs are my Bless My Garden 23 and Weird Container Growing 23. Yes, I thought that was the one that I did last year. I didn't do Bless My Garden 23 if that's the second year, but I know the weird container gardening. I did that one. And I do have a weird container that I could use. So let me think about that one. So as long as we use the hashtag, then you'll add us to the playlist. Is that how you're working it this year? Wickershire says my buddy heater's grate is removable. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not thinking about heat. My farmhouse has not had indoor heat and air for 18 months. We're in the middle of remodeling. We don't need to. And honestly, I haven't missed the high bills. That's for sure. Um, yeah, y'all go over to Gail's and check out her container, her collaborations, those two collaborations. Um, Annabeth says we have 1,000,000 snakes in our pond, killed 3 venomous ones last year. Oh my gosh. You know, the first year we were here, we saw copperheads. And but since the ducks stay down there and they keep all the grass cleaned away from the outer edges of the bank, and so we don't see them as much. And maybe it's just too busy down there for them because they like to be left alone. So I haven't seen one in a couple of years. Cross my fingers on that one. But I'm always on the lookout, definitely. Um, yeah. Gummy Doodle says my white Swiss Shepherd Molly has a double coat and is shedding now. Yes. So you got this little white cotton stuff everywhere too. And then her dog comes in and out. My dogs don't come in. Well, Bear came in the other day because he got loose and he was roaming around. He wanted to go in the yard. So I opened up the front door and I called him and he came in. Usually he gets about 10 feet away from me and he backs up like, I know you're going to put the chain on me. Not the chain. It's a leash. And but he came in and darn it, if he didn't go into the room where I have all my boxes stacked, I have a tea cart in there because I'm cleaning out all of the drawers. The tea cart has my husband's folded up t-shirts and he's been in the pond. I didn't know that when I let him in the house. He's been in the pond. He jumps up on the tea cart and he lays down on top of all of those t-shirts that now I have to go wash. And I'm washing in a laundromat because I don't have any washer and dryer right now. We're not After we put the flooring in, we'll get the washer and dryer. So he got his big old 100-pound soaking wet body up on top of my tea cart and he lays down and he puts his head down and I guess he's thinking I don't see him, but I leashed him up and took him back to where he went. But he loves to swim in that pond. I don't like snakes either, Gail. That is one of my pet peeves is snakes. I can't touch them. I can't look at them. Oh, I've seen people grab those big black ones and they're chicken snakes and they take them off and rehome them. No, you're not gonna catch me doing that at all. Akash the Rapper, which country do you live in? I live in the USA in Georgia. In the South. We are in the deep South. And I have either lived in or visited every state in the United States but Michigan. So I need to do Michigan so that I can say that I visited every state in the United States. Plus, I've been to Alaska and Spain and Canada, of course, and Mexico, and I went to Hawaii. I know that's part of the U.S., but I went to Hawaii. So I did a little traveling, but I haven't traveled in about 10 years now. When you get animals and you have a farm, it just ties you down too much, too much. Let's see. Bless My Garden 23 is a new collaboration. Okay, I didn't think I had heard it when I was perusing. I tell you, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't want to hit any bells because if you get notifications, I didn't want you to get a notification. I know you're an hour behind me, but I didn't want you to get a notification in the middle of the night just because I can't sleep. I do that with my sister, Gummy Doolittle. I'll uh, I'll make a comment or something and forget she's 3 hours behind me, and I'll get up early in the morning and her phone's going off at 4 in the morning. So I try to remember the time zones, But so yeah. Let's see. Did I miss anybody new coming in? If I did, throw your hand up and remind me that I missed you. Let's see. Akash Gummy Doolittle lives in California, USA. Oh, she wanted to answer where she was at. Yes, Gail is in Texas. Um, we have Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky. We're all over. We are all over. Florida. There was somebody here earlier from Florida. Let's see. Um, yeah, he is a big old baby, Christy, but he's really sweet. But unless you're a stray dog or an animal that doesn't belong, then he shows his teeth. It's like I can see where, if they didn't know him, they would think he's vicious because if you come near the fence and get near his goats and baby goats and stuff, he's all over it. So he does his job. He definitely does his job. Um, Christy Betts, Yellow Flame in the Dirty Buddy pilot port. Oh, Yellow Flame? Try cleaning with alcohol, Q-tip after thinning the cotton so that it slips into the pilot port easy. See there, you're getting some good advice, Christy. She had 3 big Pyrenees butts sticking out from under the bed last. Oh, the tornadoes. Oh my gosh. That's one thing that all of my animals are just afraid of is the weather. The goats don't like the rain. They don't like the wind. Uh, they will get out if it's just mildly sprinkling if they're really hungry, but they don't like fireworks. They go totally berserk with fireworks. So yeah, and the tornadoes. I have lived through 2 tornadoes. I lived in Oklahoma both times. When I was a little girl, my brother lives in Texas, um, near Wichita Falls. I have a brother that lives near Tyler, Texas. I mean, a sister that lives near Tyler, Texas. So I have family in Texas. So and some in Mesquite, Texas, and Wichita Falls, Houston. So I've got them everywhere in that area. I know Gail's in Texas. Uh, so I watch Texas weather just as much as I watch, and I have family in Arkansas. So in the Midwest, I guess you call that the Midwestern, central states. Lots of weather going on. It is just terrible this year. Gail says I have to, though, at least half, but not all of them. Okay, I missed part of it. Sometimes if you miss part of the comment, you lose it. Akash says, "Wow, USA is my dream place to come visit." That's pretty cool. Um, yes, it's like I love traveling, and we used to camp a lot, and we traveled a lot, and that's where some of our states we got some of our states. Of course, I have family in you know I have family all over a lot of states, and so whenever we would camp, if there was family nearby, we would always visit family as we were there. So, but we didn't let it get us down. We visited every state, and some of them we didn't stay, but just the day, and some of them we actually camped, and some um, I used to fly around. I used to run my own gift shop. That's something y'all probably didn't know. Those who know me, I ran a gift shop for about 10 years, and we used to go on buying trips to Chicago and New York, and um, so I got to fly um, for that. So we did get to see a lot. Wickershire, Akash, we got friends in India that grow and garden. Oh, Star Homestead, yes, she comes on. Actually, they come on my live streams sometimes. I know there's a time difference, so sometimes that makes a difference. Uh, very nice, yes. Uh, Gummy says my texting isn't so good, Akash. Good because I'm just a bad speller. Welcome to my sister Linda's live. Oh, listen, you are meeting some awesome folks here today. Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad you're still here, Cindy. It's nice that you're listening. Cindy has done some wonderful stuff with her channel. She's got monetized now and she's doing really well. She has just grown so much this last year. I think I've been on her channel for about 18 months, maybe. I think I found her on Christmas in July Fairies a couple of years ago. I think that's where I found Cindy. Um, and I think Gail, I found her in a collab too. That's pretty cool. Christy says, Akash, we speak slowly here in the southern states. I had to get the Indian minister to slow down so that I could understand him. Yes, and I used to actually, gosh, y'all, this would be a really good, I just got this idea. This would be really good if we all listed some of the jobs or some of the, maybe even some of the crafts, some of the things that we have done over our lifetime to see how different we all are, but the same. I mean, I did, just like with, I did antiquing, I remodeled furniture, I redid furniture. I mean, I did a lot of stuff. But I'll try anything once. So we should all do that just to get to know each other. Some of the things that we have done or tried, or some of the places we've been, even. USA is huge. Yes. Yes. When I was telling you one of the other jobs that I was a medical coder, and I actually coded visits, and I did billing, medical billing for about 15 years. And I worked with many Indian folks, doctors, nurses, and yeah, some, and I have a hearing problem now, so it's a little hard for me to understand some of the dialects. Some are very strong and some are not. It just depends on, how long that they have been in the U.S. or what type of education they have, even. But some absolutely wonderful people that I have worked with in the medical field. Um, so yeah, but I retired at 45, so I've been retired for over 20 years. Um, but I'm still working, just not getting paid. Uh, Cindy says I am listening mode right now, but enjoying hearing Linda's voice. Her voice sounds much like my daddy's mother. It really is strange but true. I love hearing Linda speaking. Really, I had never heard that before. I know I don't have perfect English, and sometimes it may not be clear because I was raised in the South, and sometimes we do pronounce words that are, um, I don't know, I skip syllables, I add. So yes, sometimes my language it's just mine, you know, and sometimes I sound a little bit too country when my sister that lives in California does not, to me, she does not have a Southern accent any longer. She has a California accent. So yeah, Gail did medical building and coding. Oh, I didn't know that about you, Gail. See, we should do that. We should do a collab on the jobs we've had in our lifetime or the interests we've had in our lifetime. I even did cake decorating. Wilton cake decor. Oh, I love that. Wilton cake decorating. So I need to go and start racking my brain to figure out what I'm doing. Hey, my wild home. Oh, I have been on yours, and this is great that you're here first time. Y'all get to know my wild home. We'll drop your link. Gail drop your link for you, and y'all can all go over and um, check her channel out. Let's see. Lulu said, let's see. Cindy is Lulu's Treasures for y'all that don't know who I'm calling Cindy. Lindy, I meant the tone of your voice. Okay, not necessarily the slang. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you can ask my sister. I talk a lot, but I've always been shy. But so meeting people, now if I had to get up in front of, uh, you know, I had to get up in front of a group of people when I spoke at my brother's ceremony, his memorial ceremony, and I was so scared. My knees were shaking, and I talk a lot, but I was just really, and I had to get up in front. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce for our county, so y'all didn't know that about me either, did you? So I'm just filling in with somebody, but it's been 2 years, so I got voted in now. Um, but I had to get up and speak in front of a luncheon one time, and I was so scared, my hands were sweating. So I mean, it does really make me anxious to do it. But I can talk to you one on one. But and maybe we're all like that. It's just a little bit, but I had to get up and speak. Um, I had to get up and speak one time at church, and I was just like, well, I mean, hear me. So yeah. Um, Akash says, I wish I was born in the USA. I like your culture, hip hop music, Hollywood movies. Something is special about America. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. Uh, there is, I'm just thankful that we were uh, raised in a country that, I mean, it's a great country, and like I said, I've lived all over from one part of the country all the way to California, and so I love it, love it. Um, Niecy's still here. I know you're still driving, Niecy. Um, Gummy says I can bring up my Okie accent back real quick when I forget. See, we were teased and we were bullied because we were little country girls, and I was 13 and she was 15 when we moved to California, and we were teased. Um, we were ridiculed because of the way we talked, and I think that's probably why she started talking a little differently than I did. She knew how to pronounce the words that they were using. I never learned. You know, my mother still said she was going to wash her clothes and range her clothes and wash the dishes. She put ours in everything. And so I never learned that. So my sister, she changed it a little, but we were bullied because we were just little country girls, poor little country girls. But we moved from Oklahoma to California, and we really got bullied, and that was before we really realized what bullying was. Um, so yeah, we were treated differently because of the way we spoke, the clothes we wore. I mean, we didn't wear anything stylish. We wore jeans and t-shirts, and we wore homemade clothes even. We still had homemade clothes then. So yeah, we were ridiculed, and we just didn't realize how bad it was until later. Um, let's see, what am I missing? Wickershire said dishwasher, food prep, foam plant cutter, shipper, packaging foam for products, fish store, pet supplies, reptile specialist, lobster man, 7 years medical transport, dialysis system builder, and a homesteader. Wow, that is great. And I bet you can think of some more. Write them down. I bet you can think of some more later. Oh, because I'm going to have to write mine down, and I'm going to try to start when I was younger and come forward to now, because it did change quite a bit. Uh, let's see. Akash says, I'm a diehard wrestling fan. Oh my gosh, my boys love WWF or whatever it was. I'm not into that stuff, but they watched it. I mean, they had the belts and so they were big into that too. Watching a WWE event live in person is my biggest dream and one of the main reasons to come to visit America. Okay. Uh, oh, Niecy's in a drive-through. She's having tacos, y'all. Doesn't that sound good? Hey, Chuck, how are you? Niecy's having tacos. She's making us hungry now. I didn't eat, oh my gosh, I didn't eat breakfast. I was going to cut the grass before it got early. I had my coffee. I didn't even eat breakfast. I need to go get something to eat, don't I? Uh, Life with Chuck and Belinda. Kids can be cruel, my wild home. Um, and, sometimes they're cruel because their parents are that way. And they just learn, and it's a way of life to put someone down by what they wear. This was a time where canvas shoes were canvas shoes. They weren't anything that had a, I don't know, Converse was around back then, but I didn't wear basketball shoes. Uh, but, you know, we called them tennis shoes. And later we found out they were tennis shoes. We didn't know what tennis was, but we called them tennis shoes. And, the loafers that had the copper pennies in them, those are the kind of shoes, and saddle shoes. Those are the kind of shoes we wore. Yeah, I'm dating myself for sure. Kids can be cruel, and they can now too. So I mean, it's a constant battle of, you really shouldn't make fun of someone. You don't know their circumstances, and that is all they have, and the best that they can do. And I still love to go to the Goodwill and the Salvation Army and the thrift shops to find clothes because I don't like the materials some of these new things are made out of. I like cotton. I definitely like cotton. Let's see. What do we Chuck, we were discussing some of the jobs or interests we had while from the time we were young until till now. So several of us have named some of the things that we have done. I am definitely going to write it down. That's going to be, even if it's going to be a video, I'm going to write down some of the jobs or pastimes or crafts or things that I have done over the years. Because every time I think of it, I think of a new one that I forgot I did. I did some stuff. I worked in a factory making covers for um, mixers and irons, even plastics factory, and had two babies at the same time, working nights. So yeah, we did what we had to do, right? Wickershire says currently a crazy off-grid guy that talks to squirrels and pet raccoons and makes educational, amusing solar, gardening, rainwater, soil structure, growing, and all ideas best suited off the grid. That's okay. That's okay. I can count uh, forage. Well, foraging. I don't know. You can't count foraging wild onions, can you? Oh, but I can go down in the woods and set traps for. We do live trapping, and I can use a gun, but my eyesight is not as good anymore. So I've done that too. I've ridden a horse when I was younger. Um, let's see, I got yours. Christy says my mom got four kids. Told for making fun for her was saying maters and taters. Yes, ma'am. When we moved back to Alabama, maters and taters. Uh, we, I mean, we ate a lot of wild game, and I know some of you have heard me say this. We've eaten, possum and raccoon. Although I didn't know if I've ever eaten possum, I may have. I've eaten squirrel and frog legs and crawdads, and we ate a lot of what we had. We very seldom had beef, and only pork once a year when they butchered the hogs. So I mean, that was we didn't eat that kind of meat. That kind of meat was sold, or cattle was sold for money. Um, but we ate the wild meat, doves, um, you know, all kinds of not pigeons, doves, quail. So those were the kind of birds that we ate. Um, so yeah, I didn't. I really beef is not my favorite thing. Hey, Miss Kim Anderson, how are you? I thought we were going to miss you today since I'm on a wacky day, and then I was late. Computer. I know all of y'all are not computer efficient, but I'm below the bar. Honestly, I am. I'm not too proud to admit it. Uh, that's my country speak. I'm in Massachusetts, and I was playing with my granddaughter. Didn't know you were on. Yeah, it was a pop up because I was supposed to be on Wednesday. We had another cows to take to the auction. We ended up with two. I still got two more that would not go in the trailer. So 3 weeks again, we'll do that again. I'll go back to Wednesday next week for the next couple of weeks. So today was really a pop up, and I said I apologize if I stepped on anyone's life. Um, by the time I got my computer issue straightened up, I was an hour later than I intended to be. So I was struggling today, and I'm still going to get the chocolate. I need chocolate, and and I hear that someone from California sent me some See's candy, and I'm telling you, that one's going to be mine later because it was just one of those days that coffee was not going to do it. I need chocolate. I really don't eat it a lot of it because it's so sweet, but it's a nice treat. Everybody likes a nice treat, right? And it may not be sweets, but it's a treat. So yeah, a pet raccoon. Yes, who did I see had a pet raccoon? I had my siblings and I. There was probably the last six of us were at home still. There's nine of us, so the last six of us were at home, and we had a pet fawn. And many years after it disappeared before Thanksgiving. So y'all get where my story's going? And we had some neighbors that were not very nice boys. And they were my oldest brother's age, which he was 16, 17 at the time. And our little fawn disappeared. And we found out many years after that, I found out that um, it was on the table. So we actually raised a fawn, and we had pet raccoons also. We might even had a pet squirrel that fell out of a tree once. But so yeah, we had some strange, unusual pets, but I've never seen a baby fawn that small. And it lost its mother, and probably a hunter got it. And like I say, it's in the fall. It was hunting season, but I'm not even sure how the fawn came to be at our house. But I remember us. I mean, we raised it like a dog, and we petted it, and it followed us around. And but I do remember one time, back then, we're talking in the early '60s. Uh, we opened our doors for air, and I remember one time we there was food left on the table, and we went out to do something, and I'm not sure what, but I remember the table having a raccoon on it, that it came in the house and it was eating biscuits and gravy or something we had had for breakfast. So I do remember a raccoon being in our house, but it just walked in, got on the table, and was finishing up what we left. Yeah. Raccoons these days, we've had what do you call that? A rabid raccoon? We had a rabid raccoon a few years ago during the daytime, and one of my children took care of that real quick. It was rabid. Had the, oh my gosh, if you have never heard of a rabid raccoon, they have the most just enormous high pitched squealing sound. And this thing was keening like just I can't even do it. It was so obnoxious to your ears, and it was falling over. It was like it had had something to drink. It was just falling over and stumbling around, and the dogs were going crazy. But that was the most awful sound I've ever heard. It's a rabid raccoon. It was pretty sad. Um, let's see, Kim Anderson. I need goats for all the poison ivy. But living in the woods, so many coyotes, and yes, I had a bobcat in the front yard last year. Really, too much money to fence almost an acre. Yes, we have spent a lot of money on fencing our property, and not all of it is fenced. None of the woods is fenced, so all of those animals just walk right through. We had a fox a couple of days ago. Um, we had a possum Wednesday morning, we caught a possum in the live trap. We usually give those to the neighbor. He rehomes them or eats them. I'm not sure what he does, but he does eat them. He's 90 years old and he grew up on stuff like that. And he does eat them. But you know, if it's his food, it's his food. Um, let's see what else. Wickershire says we do have taped film of them eating from our hands on the channel. Oh, you do already. We'll have to go over there and look at that. Miss Bell said the first time I saw a raccoon, I thought they were puppies, and they turned around and they had on the robber's mask, and I said, "Wow, yeah, they do. They have this little bandit." Oh, I think that's what we named our little raccoon was Bandit. Probably everybody that had a raccoon named it Bandit or Ricky, right? Ricky the raccoon or Bandit? Probably. A free meal. Yes, a free meal. You know, there's nothing wrong with eating wildlife. I mean, you know, our ancestors, that's how they survived. They didn't survive on, you know, cattle and pigs, and you know, they ate wild. So yeah. The reason we have yearly rabies vaccine, Christy says, is because years ago hunters released rabid raccoons on the East Coast. Really, I didn't know that fact. Hey, Inherited Stitches, is this your first time to be with us? We're so glad you came. We'll drop your link so that everyone can visit you. If you make content, we will be happy to visit you also. The rabies vaccine actually lasts 3 years. Yes, that I did know. Gummy says Uncle Doc found it on Grandma Pope's property. That's the fawn that we were talking about. It still had its spots. That's how young it was. It was less than a couple weeks old. I found him out. His back was under the barbed wire fence, and Uncle Doc doctored him up and gave him to us. His name was Jingle Bells. Oh, that's what it was. Jingle Bells. Yeah, I remember now. See, when you can't remember stuff, it's good to have an older sister that remembers stuff. And sometimes what she remembers is different than what I remember. We have that. Creative name. Inherited Stitches? Oh, Gummy Doolittle. Yeah, she has a little story about, she has a video that how she got that name. It's actually kind of sad, but but it's a good name. We also had a pet skunk, and Dad removed his stink bag. I didn't even know that. I don't. I remember the skunk, but I didn't remember that they actually could remove something like that. Kim says we got wood, so chainsaw making posts from 4 by 6 branches or small trunks. Yes, we had post oaks on our farm in Oklahoma, and a lot of our fence. And actually, I was there about 10 years ago. There is still some of the original post oaks that my dad and uncle put around our property. We had 10 acres uh, that our grandmother gave us. It was right on the catty corner of her property, and I think she had a land grant or something. She had 300 acres or something, but she gave us 10 acres to live on. And we had post oaks, so that's what they used to build our fences. I couldn't believe they were still there. The original barbed wire from back in the 50s was still there. Um, but I don't know if it's there any longer. You know, people buy stuff and they tear it up, and you know, uh, let's see, what did I miss? Let's see. Cheap rolls of 4-foot high plastic garden fence, an electric fence charger, and a roll of wire. Enough wire insulators to have 4 inches off the ground and the top of the fence. You know, I've thought about using that electric fence with the cows, but their skin's so tough and they're so ornery, they probably would tear it up like they've done all the other fencing that I've got. Gummy says, Annabeth, my grandkids couldn't say Grammy or Granny, and they called me Gummy. And then I think one of the grandchildren said something about Gummy, you do little. What do? You do little. It just kind of stuck with her. Christy says, when I was working at vet med, see, there's something new we learned about Christy. A woman picked up a dead bat that fell down the chimney, and it had rabies, and she had a cut on her hand. Oh, she didn't make it, and she was pregnant. Oh my goodness. Now we do have bats because we have a pond, and they do like to fly at night and drink out of the pond. Oh, Nisi, it was so nice that you hung out with us. Go do your shopping. That's what I need to do this afternoon to add to my list. One more thing, because when it starts raining, I don't like to get out. I'm not real allergic to rain, but I just don't like to drive in it at all. We're glad you came, Nisi. Um, let's see. My wild home. What'd you say? Oh dear, that's terrible, Christy. Yes. Um, let's see. Who did I miss? Um, yes, I'm like you, Cindy. I've tried to catch everyone. If I miss someone, I do apologize. That's why I say just throw your hand up and wave at me, and so that I can go back, because sometimes the chat just goes bonkers. Christy says, so sad we wear gloves when we handle carcasses. Yes, yes. I wear those plastic gloves even when I'm cleaning out the chicken pens. Um, I wear them because I don't want to get it on my hands. And because you never know what you're going to pick up. Uh, sheep fences will not work for goats, cattle, or horses. Um, need cattle fencing, yes. 8 foot 8 foot post. Yes, we've been using the T post because the 4x4s are too expensive right now. Crazy high voltage, strong wire, and barbed wire. Yes, we do use that too. We used goat fencing for our goats, and the sheep. I've seen people use those little what do you call them? Those little plastic fencing. I've seen people use them for sheep. Jerry from um, Self Reliance. He's used them, I think, for sheep. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I've seen them actually use them. Bats terrify me. Yes, and they're flying around, and they're supposed to be eating those mosquitoes, but it I don't know. You don't ever see them doing it, but they're supposed to eat mosquitoes at night. But you just never know. We did. We didn't know it was called cave spelunking, but we used to go to caves. Our middle child, is my oldest son. He is a science teacher, and he absolutely loves to go in caves. He loves rocks. He loves anything like that. And when he was, even before my last son was born, we used to take the two older children to caves all over Georgia and Kentucky and Tennessee. There's some great caves to go through. Um, and of course, Carlsbad, we went to that one too. So we've been to a few caves. That's really interesting. Ruby Falls, that's a really interesting cave. Um, Christy says, I've handled 120 pounds of snarling dog, really. But don't let a mouse get near me or you'll hear me screaming. I'm with you there, Christy. I don't like mice. I don't like snakes. And the snakes will eat the mice, but I can't watch it. I just can't. I can't get over it. Snakes are serpents to me. I just can't get over that. Um, yes, my mother. Oh my gosh, my brother almost gave her a heart attack, and I do remember this. And I may have been before we left Oklahoma, so I was probably in the 12, 13 range, and he had a little garter snake in a little butter bowl. Y'all remember Parquet still puts butter in those little butter bowls? He had a little garter snake in that, and he ran up to my mother, and we were all outside for some reason. I'm not sure why, but he ran up to her and he took the little top and he popped it open. He goes, "Look what I got." And she screamed, and oh my gosh, she probably tore his tail up when she caught him, because he scared the bejesus out of her. She's like, oh my gosh, she thought she was going to die and go to heaven. She said she was so scared of that snake because he popped it right up in your face and says, "Look what I got." We all were screaming, and maybe that's why I don't like snakes to this day. I can talk about him. He's not on this live stream. He doesn't watch this stuff, so I can talk about his story. So yeah, let's see. I probably had 20 bats flying around the other evening. You do have a pond too, Christy? Yes. They love the ponds because they're going to be around wherever water's at. Um, Lulu says, I hate to leave the great company, but I've had to step out for a little bit. Hope to see you all this afternoon at my premiere live that I planned for 4 p.m. So y'all don't forget Central Time Zone. We're so glad you came, Cindy. So if y'all her link is above, and if you want to catch her link and go over there and say notify me, it'll let you know and remind you when it's on, which is going to be soon. um I'm going to run to the grocery store before all that. Wickershire says sheep are very easy to fence in. Goats will jump and tear stuff up. Oh yeah, I had a goat that she would get close to a tree and she would just climb the tree. She loved it. She absolutely loved climbing the tree. She's my tree hugger. I don't have her any longer, but she was my tree hugger. But yes, and they'll jump. They're only in a 4-foot fence if they want to be, because they can scale it. They can go over it. Kim says the only thing that bothers me is the big garden spiders. The spiders don't bother me so much unless they got a red spot on them. I've got every critter imaginable. My girls call it Kim's Zoo. From snake to turtles to deer to fisher cat and vermin. Fisher cat. What's a fisher cat? Huh. Okay. Bye, Cindy. We're glad you came. Happy Easter to you and to yours. Let's see. I'm going to try to go through the rest of this chat really quick, and so I didn't see if I missed anybody. Oh no, Annabeth, who could see it crawling in bed with you? You're talking spiders? Oh, pet snake. Oh no, no. My son, my middle child had a, what are those green lizards? They're not geckos. I know y'all know they're big. Had big old tail. He's the only one that could handle it. If it got out of his terrarium, I just shut the door, and it stayed in there till he got home. He would lay up on the bed and do his homework, and that darn, I mean, it was the his length of his body. It would be laying up on his shoulder, watching him read a book. I forget what the name of the lizard is. Iguana, that's it. Yes, it was an iguana. It was really, really pretty. But that thing would lay up on his shoulder. He was the only one that didn't get whipped by it. So I only tried to catch it once, and that was it. If I saw it was out, and I don't know how it ever got out of that terrarium, but it would get out of there, and I would just close the door, and I would tell him when he got home that your lizard's out. It's up to you to catch them. Kim Anderson, look them up, Linda. Their cry when they kill something will send you down, really down to your spine. Temperament of a badger looks like a giant weasel. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. I just, for some reason, the name threw me. Oh my goodness. The vet had one that liked to jump out and hiss at me. Are you talking about an iguana, Christy? Oh, yeah, I don't do lizards either. I'm not afraid of them, and I'm not going to catch a gecko. But the two youngest grandkids would catch them when we first come to the farm. They would catch those little green lizards, and they do bite. And they would catch them, and I ain't catching no lizards. Forget that. I'll just go with the tame stuff. So, well, gosh, guys, it's been almost 2 hours. Can you believe that? I got started late, and I'm so glad y'all all hung out with me. If you haven't hit the bell, please do that when you leave. I do appreciate that. And next Wednesday, I'll be on my regular time. So if anybody, can't do Thursdays, I will be on my regular time at noon Eastern Standard Time. And I will go and schedule it so you can hit the notify if you want to. I'll go ahead and schedule the next 3 weeks so that you'll know I'm pretty much on my regular schedule. but it'll give me a chance to get out of the hot sun because I do have to work in the garden. Yep, iguana. Everybody thought it was funny when I screamed. Oh yeah, when something jumps out at you, it doesn't matter what it is or not. Even if it's something tame, you're gonna jump, right? Yeah. So thanks everybody for coming. Happy Easter. Thank you so much, Christy, and y'all stay safe in these weather conditions. Oh my gosh. And be praying for all the people that has been in this terrible weather. There's so many lives that are lost. And we'll see you next Wednesday. So I hope you have a good week. Now Monday, I probably do an update on my community channel because my daughter's having her surgery on Monday, total knee replacement. So I will give you an update on Monday afternoon, and it's a day surgery. Can y'all believe that? That's hard to believe. So I have that on Monday, but I should be able to do my live stream from her house on Wednesday. So that's where I will be the rest of next week. And I hope y'all have a good week. Thank you so much, Christy. Yes, this is my oldest child, which is just in her 40s. She's not that old for a total knee. Thank you so much. She's an old hand with it being 3 surgeries on this one knee. This is the 3rd surgery for it. But we will persevere. It was good to see you all. Good to visit with all of you. It's like a party line, right? We could all talk and always the baby. Yes, yes. Yours just turned 40, Kim. Let's see. She was born in 79. What did that make her? 44? Yes. Thank you, Prep Fraternity. Oh, Annabelle, it's good to see you. Yes. So it's like my baby is always my baby, but my daughter is my only daughter. So yeah, they're all babies to me. They still gotta let me know what they're doing. So okay, see you guys later. Y'all have a good week, good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye. I'm gonna go grab me some lunch. Well, supper now. Thank you. Have fun camping, Gummy Doolittle. Y'all have a safe trip home. And all my new friends that visited. Oh my goodness, it's 82 degrees. I'm getting hot. Bye now.